What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on also get notified as soon as we drop any new content on this channel. So let's get into this one. So one of what I think will be one of the best fights on the card this coming Friday, Riyadh season, knockout chaos, all that good stuff is going to be Zhilei Zhang versus Joseph Parker. And this is going to be very much what I would call kind of a crossroads fight because you got both guys coming off of very good victories. You got Zhilei Zhang coming off of two back-to-back wins over Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, who a lot of people thought was indestructible. He wasn't going to be knocked down. He couldn't be hurt. He's a machine. He's a juggernaut that just keeps coming forward. He'll take three of your shots to give one big one of his. He's that sort of fighter. And Zhang exposed the flaws in him and, done some serious damage, stopped Joe Joyce twice. And Joseph Parker pulled an upset in his own right because a lot of people were picking Deontay Wilder when, we had, what was it, the Day of Reckoning card. And, a lot of people picked Deontay Wilder to beat him and to stop him, to knock him spark out because of the power of Deontay Wilder, because of that big right hand that's been taking everybody out apart from Tyson Fury. But, Joseph Parker, he upset the apple cart. Deontay Wilder, I suppose he performed terribly. He hardly threw a punch all fight long, and he just essentially just took a beating off of Joseph Parker, and it was very fortunate not to be knocked out by Joseph Parker. But yeah, both guys are coming off of what I would call career best performances going into this fight. So yeah, for me, this fight is gonna be is gonna come down to sort of whether or not Joseph Parker can take the fight and get into the later rounds. I think that's going to be the key factor here because Zhilei Zhang, for his part, he's the bigger, stronger man. He's the more powerful puncher, and he starts fights very well. He starts fights very, very well. He's always sharp in the beginning. He's shown a lot of improvement from the time he started because he looked like, at least in my opinion, like he was going nowhere. But he certainly proved everyone wrong on that. So Zhilei Zhang is very fast starter, brilliant left hand and everything. But I think honestly that just as Deontay Wilder and the flatness of his performance flattered sort of Joseph Parker, I think Joe Joyce and his marauding come forward style, I think that played into Zhang's hands. So, for Joseph Parker's part, he's got to sort of, for me, he's got to sort of stay on the outside and try to sort of use lots of movement. I'd say, play defense for the first part of the fight. Feel it out for the first couple of rounds, and then sort of step up the attacks as the fight goes. If the fight goes later, and just stay out of the way of that left hand. Just keep doing that movement to your left, as Joseph Parker is the orthodox fighter. So I think with Parker, he's got to keep moving to the left, keep circling to the left, try and stay away from that lovely left hand of Zhilei Zhang, and I think he's got to just sort of stay out of his way. Lots of movement, lots of feinting. Use his own jab and try to counter Zhang's jab with either right hand over the top of it or left hook round the side of it. I think that's the sort of tactics what am I talking about? Joseph Parker has got to use. I think Joseph Parker's really got to use his, although he's not the youngest fighter, but he is 31. Zhang is, well, he's about 41 or something. So I think for me, Parker's got to employ lots of movement, lots of lateral movement, side to side movement, and try to get Zhang into the second half of the fight, and then sort of step up the attacks, then start being a bit more aggressive, and start seeking to land your combinations. But in the early part of the fight, you got to make Zhang come to you, and try to sort of make Zhang miss and make him pay with nice, crispy single shots. And for Zhang's part, I think he's got to sort of cut down the ring, be aggressive, but also be conservative with his gas tank and everything, and get that right foot on the outside of Joseph Parker's left foot, and try, just continue to lead with that jab. Make sure he uses a nice, stiff, powerful jab, and he's got to sort of make sure he doesn't give Joseph Parker anywhere to go. Sort of try and make sure he takes that step to the side, cuts off the ring, and when he gets in range, let his hands go, let his combinations go, because Parker, he's got a decent chin, but at the end of the day, he can be vulnerable. This is heavyweight boxing, and for me, I think that's the two styles kind of in a nutshell. I think for Zhang, he's got to sort of come forward, not too much of a high pace, but he's got to, in those early rounds, try to even go downstairs a bit against Joseph Parker, go to work on his body, and try and do some damage to Joseph Parker early. Try and hurt him early. Try and get that big left hand in early, hurt him, and then if you hurt him bad, you can close the show. And for Parker's, he's got to be the fleet-footed boxer in this one. He's got to use all of the ring, make Zhang feel old, make Zhang have to come to him, have to bring the fight to him, have to sort of chase him down, and you use that movement, use that as I said, fleet-footed movement, because I think for me personally, I think that's one thing that Zhang struggles with. I don't think Zhang likes sort of having to look for you, having to find you, having to sort of chase you around the ring. I think Zhang prefers the stationary sort of static target, and he kind of struggles with movement. And also, I think one thing that kind of goes in Parker's favor is that of the two, I would say that Zhang's engine is not very good. Zhang's engine is kind of the worst of the two, whereas Joseph Parker, he can do the 12 rounds. He can do the 12 rounds, and he can get through the fight. So for me, as far as a pick, I think this is kind of a 50-50 fight. I understand why most people probably picking Zhilei, but for me, my pick is for Joseph Parker to win this on a narrow, close points decision, and that is based upon the fact that I think, obviously, Joseph Parker is the younger guy by several years, and I just think that Joseph Parker is on the crest of a wave, and he's kind of a kryptonite in a way to Zhang's Superman, because I think he can employ those right tactics and the right movement to where Zhang is not going to be able to land that left hand. He's not going to be able to get, because I think Parker's going to be able to be mobile enough to where when Zhang sets himself to try and throw that left hand, Parker's out of the way. He's gone. He does his little work, and then he's gone out. And I think Joseph Parker's got the toughness to sort of move around, get Zhang into the later rounds, and then, come into his own in the fight. As long as, I think the only catch could be, as long as Joseph Parker doesn't lose sort of too many of the early rounds. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. They're a bit all over the place, or scattered thoughts, but I think for me, Joseph Parker takes this on points, and I just think that's solely based on styles, because as we know in boxing, styles make fights, and I think Joseph Parker, he's got the right movement, he's got the movement, he's got the speed, he's got a bit of punching power, and I think under the tutelage of Andy Lee, I think they'll have done their homework, they'll have done their calculations, and he'll be able to get a point victory here. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.